No one knows where this image came from. And here's the thing, the origin of this image might be as hard to find or harder to find than the original Jeff the Killer image. Now stick with me, because if you're an internet sleuth, you're gonna wanna know. I could have sworn that this entire thing was solved a long time ago, but I guess not. I guess I'm just creating false memories in my head. So for those of you that don't know, this image goes along with a classic creepypasta called Teddy, written by a Raidinist in 2011. And it appears to either show a bear or a dog or some sort of creepy critter sitting on a shelf with oddly, disturbingly human eyes. I've seen people call it both a bear or a dog. I don't know what it actually is, but I'm just gonna call it bear for the sake of this video because the title of the creepypasta is called Teddy. But basically, to sum up the creepypasta, it's about this kid whose sibling had this thing. It would look at them and it made them really uncomfortable. The bear came into the kid's possession. They woke up one night and the bear was at the end of the kid's bed, closed their eyes, and then they opened their eyes again and the bear was just a little bit closer, and they closed their eyes and they opened it again and the bear was lunging at them, and then they burnt the bear, and then years down the line the bear came back. So it's just a very common classic trope of destroy cursed object comes back. This isn't the worst creepypasta. It's far from the best though. It's definitely a lot better than the original Jeff the Killer creepypasta. That one kind of sucked. And personally, I don't think this thing is that creepy. If this thing was sentient, I probably wouldn't mind being friends with it if it asked nicely. So there's always been some sort of internet discussion on where the hell did this image come from? There's a lot of missing information, and as far as I can tell, there is no big coordinated search effort like there is for JTK. It's just a bunch of independent researchers sharing information, and there's not really that much information to be shared on it either. There are 3 known images of this bear/doll thing, and we'll call them images A, B, and C, or 3 images of the original bear. There's a lot of theories out there about what this thing actually is, where it came from, and where the original image was. But before we get to that, let's lay down some groundwork real quick. There's a fella on the internet that goes by Bored Brews, and he actually put out a really solid foundational timeline that we're going to use as kind of the backbone for our research of the video. So shout out to you, Bored Brews. So let's take a look at his findings and delve a little deeper. I did some digging and here's what I found. The image gained popularity from a creepypasta called Teddy, made on January 14th, 2011. Covered that. Cool. On August 19th, 2017, an Amino user that goes by Grimes made a post about how they found the exact same bear at a thrift store. They never disclosed what thrift store or who made the bear. They have been offline since 2018. Anyone remember that classic creepypasta, Teddy? If you do, you probably haven't forgotten the face of his, have you? Take a look at what I've bought in an antique store today, and there are 3 heavily filtered pictures of the bear. How do you do that? How do you debate an entire online community on social media and then immediately disappear for 6 years? That's like the equivalent of finding Mariko from JTK and then being like, I found your person, and then disappearing with no context. Unless, you know, just like the creepypasta, the bear killed them in real life. Now, clearly this is not the exact same bear. It's like 99.9% similar, but as you can see, the bow tie looks a little different. There's some minuscule and not important discrepancies in how these bears look. I also don't know why the uploader did this with these filters. It would have been much more beneficial to the forensics if the filters weren't on it, but I don't think the poster was really concerned about forensics at that time. There's a very high chance that this could be a clone of the original, especially with the knowledge that when you go to the poster's own page, you can see they make things from creepypastas. So whether or not this is real or legitimate, it's still a mystery. I now know for sure that the creator of the creepypasta didn't take the picture because it has shown up a couple times before the story was made. One day before the creepypasta was made, January 13th, 2011, there's a post on weirduniverse.net with this picture and it says creepy ass dolls. I came across the earliest post of the image. For some reason, it is on an extreme corn site, so be warned. October 30th, 2010. This is the image that was on the corn site. Obviously, I can't show the website on YouTube. I am partnered and monetized on YouTube, and I don't want to lose that. If you want the link, you could find the Reddit threads that the link is posted in, or you can go to our Discord link in description. On a Facebook post by The Killer Slash, a user by Esteban, I'm not going to bother pronouncing the rest of the name because I'm just going to botch it, commented a GIF that showed a new angle of the toy. And as you can see in the corner, it says Gicker. And for those of you that aren't looking at your screen, I did not say the word that you think I said. Now, Gicker is a GIF making website. And if you go to this website and you go to the galleries, it seems like they're having some server-side issues. So now that we have a timeline of the oldest known instances of this bear existing online, let's go into some theories and ideas about what this is or where it came from. A lot of people are under the impression that this is a knockoff Chibarashka doll, or possibly a Rushton doll. I genuinely feel like this image came from like a website for sale listing somewhere, kind of like eBay or Craigslist. However, it is massively speculated that this doll is of Russian or Eastern European origin. It's obviously very old, dating anywhere between the 1950s to maybe 1990s. I tried to look for similar dolls sold on eBay or Craigslist listings listings or whatever internet listings I could find, and I was looking for notable characteristics that would allow me to maybe find some sort of commonality between a manufacturer or location, and I got nothing other than Disturbed and heebie-jeebies. Oh my god. Some of these are actually creepier than the subject that we're talking about. Oh my god. There are many Reddit threads about this doll, and this is where a lot of the good ideas come from. And again, there's basically no actual concrete information, but there is good speculation. Are we sure that this isn't a bear costume on top of a dog statue? I don't know. I've only got one image to go off of. The reason I believe it's an actual doll is because of the amount of weird-looking Chibarashka dolls produced. The ears are so similar to this. Wow, the ears are very similar to that, and same thing with the bow tie. Wows! You might be onto something. Maybe it's one of those dog costumes with a weird bear face inserted into it. Looks like a bear by this maker. And clicking on the link takes you to this website, and I can kinda see it. Oh, that's a good lead. I'm gonna contact the owner. Edit. I emailed the owner and they have never come across something like this. I will provide an update if she responds. Edit 2. She emailed me saying she didn't make and didn't provide any more info. Source is most likely somewhere on VK. Looks very Russian to me. I'll see if I can find anything. If you don't know, VK is a Russian social media site / networking service, and assuming that this thing is probably of Eastern European origin, like Russia, I wouldn't doubt that the original image is actually on VK, considering VK has been around since like 2006. It's weird people keep saying this is Russian because of the wallpaper and shelf. My parents had this wallpaper in the bathroom of their home. It was from the 80s, and the shelf looks very much like the one they had. At first I thought it was maybe an animatronic with just that part of the fur removed to make it look like this. I say Russian because of the look of the doll. American rubber-faced dolls do not look like this. And that is true. If you look at old Russian or Eastern European rubber-faced dolls, this definitely looks like one of those. Now this next comment is actually pretty interesting. I don't know the exact origin of this photo, but I know what kind of bear it is. Simply put, it's just a toy bear made in the USSR. I saw this bear when I was traveling to St. Petersburg. I remember it very well because this thing is not just a soft toy, but it can stand on 2 legs. Most likely the photo was not taken from a forum or something like that, but rather it was made to be sold later on special sites. I really think that this was just a for sale image, kind of like a Hanna-Barbera Now, a lot of people have been using AI to analyze the image, and it hasn't really provided anything super fruitful other than looking at the results for photo forensics, which, if you know anything about the JTK case, photo forensics can actually give you a lot of information. But until we find earlier images of this, it's going to be kind of not pointless, but it's not going to be super helpful to do photo forensics until we find the super early instances of this. Now, there are / or is a clone of this doll that exists, and it was made by an artist named Josh Tulin. Do not confuse that with the original doll. There are clones of this, and there are 3D printed faces of the doll that you can make. So be aware of that in your research. Now, you may have noticed that this is the end of the video, but don't click off yet. Don't freaking do it. If I left any information out of this, or was incorrect, or you have valuable speculation, please leave a comment. If you know anything about this doll and you would like to participate in the search for it, we have a Discord server where you can share your information and your findings. And I'll update you guys with another video if I find anything that's absolutely truly significant. Now, if you've made it this far, I would like to ask you to like and subscribe. That would really help out my channel. If you don't do that, I will take my largest hand and I will teleport to your location and I will slap you in half. Thanks, bye.